This Louisville team wins. In their wins, Kara Cressy's hitting nearly 500 with very few attack errors. In the losses, Kara Cressy does not show up in her particular standout ways. We are underway here inside Purcell Pavilion. Louisville in the red and Notre Dame in the home whites. Free ball over to the Cardinals. Here's Cabello teeing up the middle, and there is Hannah Sherman leading the ACC in blocks, but getting it done early on the offensive side here, Nicole.
Well, and that's what you hear from coaches most every time. You want to establish that middle attack right away.
Chloe Chicoine sends it away. Maya Baker with the tee up, and there's Gardy. Her first swing of the match results in a kill. Morgan Gardy, the 6'5 sophomore out of Indiana. We mentioned the 14 kills against Duke on Sunday. Preseason All-ACC selection has lived up to the billing this year. This time the middle is blocked. Blackshear had it stuffed right back by that Notre Dame defense. And you mentioned it, Nicole, the block has to show up for this team. They rank 5th in the conference.
Well, Blackshear is an opposite, but she played middle in high school in club, and that is a move they'll try to use her there on the middle too, and Notre Dame's ready for it.
Cabello to the backside this time, and Sherman into the antenna. So Notre Dame out to a good start, leading 3-1 in this opening set. Fighting Irish already with 5 ACC wins. That is equaled the total amount that they had each of the last 3 seasons. And there is Sherman out of the middle. Already 2 kills, and the lone 2 kills for Louisville here.
Well, you could see Notre Dame was trying to disrupt the offense with a short serve there, but they handled it just fine.
Libero Camden Schran sends it away behind the line. A right side attack is snuffed out. May Cordes, her first action. Talented freshman. I'll go right back to her here on the second attempt. This time it'll fall for the freshman out of Carlsbad, California.
May Cordes is doing offensive things here for Notre Dame and puts up a very good block for this defense. And again, a freshman stepping in and doing an excellent job for Notre Dame.
No question about it. Also very familiar faces on this team. Maya Evans and May Cordes played high school volleyball together at Cathedral Catholic High School there in the greater San Diego area, and take their talents to South Bend. Second contact for Bjork there, and Chichi Naji into the match for the first time, and another talented freshman on the right pin. Cabello to the backside, Blackshear off high hands. Here's Naji, slowed down by that Louisville block. 2 really good blocking teams going head-to-head here. And that left pin attack from Peyton Peterson is rejected. So Notre Dame already in the early going with 2 blocks in the first couple of points. Mayo tracks back for it. There's Peterson trying the tap shot. Read well by the Notre Dame block. Back row attack from Helmers. Blackshear able to keep it up. Lily Fenton coming in as the second setter for Notre Dame here today. Injury to Harmony Sample, who usually runs that 6-2 offense for head coach Selena Rockwell, but due to an injury, Lily Fenton getting the call in just her second set ever this season, and she tees up the middle beautifully there. Out of system and an ace for Notre Dame. What a start for the Fighting Irish.
Well, so far the ball control we saw on that last replay, another strength of Notre Dame, and coming out aggressively from the line has set the tone.
Couldn't have asked for a better start for Coach Rockwell, and a timeout for Dan Meske as Louisville trails by 5 on the road. Notre Dame at home, leading number 8 Louisville 7-2. You got to look at Maya Evans there, the freshman libero for Notre Dame. We mentioned her teammates with May Cordes, number 15, the opposite for Notre Dame this year. There they are at Cathedral Catholic High School, won a pair of state championships. And for May Cordes, said it was no surprise that she made her way to Notre Dame. and she's felt like she's been a part of this community since she's been born, partly because both of her parents played sports at Notre Dame. She's already got a kill on 2 swings. And the run continues to grow for Notre Dame, Nicole Branna. It is now 5-0. Notre Dame advantage here in this first set coming out of the timeout.
Well, they have come out with pedal down and ready to go, and no surprises. They have pushed top teams to tough 5 sets. Pitt recently, SMU, they are a good team, and like Coach Dan Meskey told us of Louisville, they are underrated, so you really got to come out and be ready to play, and especially in the ACC. Every night is tough.
Get a look at Sleema Rockwell there, of course, 4-time national champion, 3-time All-American as a player. Starting to see this program turn a little bit at Notre Dame off the service ace there from Hannah Kenny, but a little bit more on Coach Rockwell. Always a joy to talk to her. Nicole obviously worked as a colleague for us for years, and you know, she's just so optimistic about this team and has put in so much hard work building this roster. You go up and down this roster for Notre Dame, and it is littered with Gatorade Player of the Years, highly touted prospects, and now starting to see that come to fruition.
Well, a champion as a player, a champion as a coach. I mean, she knows what it takes and sees things in people and wants to build this program. And as many people are aware, they're on the up and up. Tough teams. I know I mentioned SMU, but I was mistaken.
Yeah.
It was North Carolina recently went to 5, and Pitt, who's number 6.
Right. All right, so
well.
Coach Rockwell is going to pull out that green challenge card here. Look, you're taking a gamble. I was going to say, you're taking a gamble here early on in the match. Again, coaches get 2 challenges per match. If you lose it, it's gone. If you win it, you get to retain it. But this early on in the match, you are certainly taking a risk as you're looking at Gardy's swing and high hands there off the setter Cabello. Do you see the ball move at all? It was ruled no touch, point Louisville, so you need some clear and conclusive evidence to overturn it. Oh, I don't know, Nicole.
Those fingers bending back on that right-hand side there. It looks maybe like there was a little bit of a wiggle. And Cabello's right hand, that outside closest to the candy cane, or we call it the pin. Oh yeah, looks like the pinky back there.
Yeah.
I got a couple of crooked pinkies myself, so.
Again, as it stands right now, point went to Louisville. The initial ruling was no touch. Our officials taking a closer look at this upon review.
But Sam, I know you mentioned it's early in the match, but here's the thing. We were at 7-2 at the timeout, Notre Dame up. Louisville's been on a 4-point run, so they want to take the chance on this one to try to get that momentum shifted back.
No doubt. It's a great point. And when Morgan Gardy, one of your more, I guess you could say, veteran players on this team, certainly a leader, tells you, I think I got a tip there.
Yeah.
Might want to trust her.
You do have to rely on the players at times as well for that.
After review, the ruling on the court stands due to inclusive video. Notre Dame loses their challenge.
Wow. Okay. See, but that is, again, that's the risk that you run there, because those are sometimes just inconclusive, and you need clear evidence to overturn it. And you heard our official there say not enough conclusive evidence to overturn it. So Notre Dame with 1 challenge remaining. I think we had to wait for a whistle there before the serve went. But all right, it's going to be interesting going forward now for Coach Rockwell to when do you want to use that second challenge? Again, if a 5th set is needed, you get a challenge back. But as of right now, 1 challenge remaining for Notre Dame. Cardinals on a 4-0 scoring run of their own here as Fenton tees up Gardy on the left pin. Roll shot read well by that Louisville defense. And there's Kara Cressy on that slide, the patented slide for the redshirt senior out of Fort Wayne.
Well, she can take over matches with this signature slide of hers, so keep an eye throughout. I know we talked about her incredible block, but again, look at this, just attacking down. Almost hits, I think it hits Gardy in the head.
Yeah. Anna Kenny on a roll behind the service line. Chichi Naji too tight to the net there, and Louisville now a 6-0 run to tie things up at 8. Look at head coach Dan Meskey there. Longtime associate head coach before being promoted to the head coach position after Coach Danny Busboom Kelly departed for Nebraska. And Gardy, this time in the right pin, able to slip one past the block of Peterson and down. It was really interesting talking to Coach Metzke. Obviously, he's been a part of this program for such a long time, but he told us it's been a challenge replacing all of the pieces lost from last year's NCAA tournament runner-up team, and he's been incredibly pleased with how they've overcome some of the adversity, losing those back-to-back matches to Pitt and SMU before going on the road and having the Carolina sweep. But he was really impressed with how they rebounded after those 2 home losses.
Yeah, they lost a lot of top players, offensive production, defensive, but they have experience of what it takes to get to the top. And people come into this program knowing exactly that and want to be a part of it. With some big transfers they got this year to fill in those spots. And like you said, it's not necessarily they have the experience together as a team, but they do have experience playing at a high level as well. So bringing that in.
Yeah, Peyton Peterson, one of those experienced players, had her number called in the semifinal last year after Anna DeBeer went down with that injury. Here on the left pin, one of those transfers, and Chicoine. Here's Chicoine again, joust at the net. And it is won by Chicoine. Transfer from Purdue, had 13 kills in the win over UNC. Handed that North Carolina team their first conference loss.
Well, Chicoine is an impressive player, a little undersized on the pin that we usually see at 5'10", but she doesn't play like it. She is big out there, powerful arm, very competitive.
But Chicoine with the set to the back row attack from Peterson. Gardy second contact, and Helmer's swing, looking for the block, doesn't find it. And Louisville jumps in front 11-10.
Well, that jump set we just saw from Chicoine, that's something that Coach Dan Metzke of Louisville said is, I want all the players out there who can get a good set, even when it's out of system, to dish it up. And you'll see that a lot from Louisville tonight. Anyone getting those hands out and give it a nice set.
A little 3-0 burst from the Cardinals here with Peterson behind the line. Fenton to Helmers, off the block and down for a kill. Sydney Helmers has really picked up her play, really since ACC play started, Nicole.
Yeah, she's had last 6 games double-digit kills. The previous 3 a little bit slower at like 4 to 9 kills. So she has really elevated her game and grown in her confidence, and I think that's been a big piece of it.
There's Helmers again, this time read well. Chicoine with the kill.
She says, I love that set. I'll just take it on one and put it down. When you get the opportunity, you get something tight like that at the net, you gotta be aggressive, especially against a top team like Louisville.
Cabello tees up Chicoine. This time Helmers now on the outside. York keeps it alive. Schran first contact. Cabello to the backside. Slide is Cressy.
You could just see her waiting for that one on a platter, calling it out loud. She wanted that free ball, and this is how you take care of it. Give a beautiful pass to Cabello, and she gets back on that slide. Beautiful connection.
Outside 12 apiece, and that serve just floats long for Molly Wilson. Senior setter in DS has come in for a serve sub for Cressy.
Another one of those transfers from Washington coming from Louisville. She was a setter at University of Washington, started her sophomore and junior year. Led the Huskies in aces with 32, so they knew she was going to come with a strong serve.
Speaking of strong serves, Maya Baker with 13 of her own, and this one just tapped over by Louisville, but it goes wide. So Notre Dame, despite getting a push from Louisville, has maintained their calm, and they lead by 2 here in the opening set. Again, a reminder, first 4 sets play to 25, got to win by 2. If a 5th set is needed, you play to 15. Still have to win by 2. What a dig in the back by Maya Evans to keep that one alive. Thrown over by Grace Langer. Now on the left pin, pushed to the floor by Chicoine.
And that was a smart shot by Chicoine, coming in, seeing the open spot, and just throwing that down right past the block. But right now, Notre Dame bringing some tough serves. Louisville's first contact right now, not as clean as they are used to having, so giving them some trouble.
One of the better serving teams in the conference is Notre Dame, 4th in the ACC, averaging over an ace per set. What a swing on the outside. Will fall for May Cordes. Usually see her on the right pin, but now over on the left side getting it done.
That's right, these different rotations, you gotta line up sometimes on that side of the court, but that doesn't matter. She turns this one almost right down into the seam of 1 and 6.
Cordes Gatorade Player of the Year as that serve goes wide out of the state of California.
I don't mind, sorry Sam, I don't mind that serve. It was just a little bit wide, but I really like how she was trying to push Louisville exactly down that sideline.
Now Chloe Chicoine back behind the line. Good first contact and a back row attack sails off the arm of Helmers. Just mishit that one.
Chicoine serving short, kind of around that 10-foot line, trying to disrupt the offense for Notre Dame.
Junior transfer from Purdue, 2nd on the team in kills and digs. Here's Gardy taking flight and got a touch at the net. And Morgan Gardy with her 3rd kill of the match. Now something else to point out too for Louisville is you will see Cam Schran, the libero, play center back. And you will see some of the outside hitters for Louisville, whether it be Peyton Peterson or Chloe Chicoine, play in that left back position, which is a little bit unique. Traditionally, you see, college liberos play in that back left spot, but Schran holds down the center back. Nice dig by Peterson there. Little give and go with Cabello. The block was set up by Notre Dame, but goes out in the point to Louisville.
Well, Peterson comes in strong and turns her hand just off. She sees them, feels that big block.
Baker tight to the net. Ball goes back and forth and falls on Notre Dame's side. A little bit of an awkward play there.
Kind of a reverse dunk, if you will, from Bessie in the middle.
Here's Cam Schran out of Villa Hills, Kentucky. Gardy with a big swing and finds that back corner there. Also got tipped at the net, so Gardy with 4 kills in this opening set. She averages over 4 kills per set.
Yeah, they've been working Coach Salima Rockwell, Notre Dame, so they technically had to work on a few things. Gardy is tall, she can go up, she's a physical player, but when you get to this level, you got to make some adjustments because people are another level here in the ACC.
Solo block. Cressy turned around as if it was going to hit the floor, but it stayed in the air as Blackshear looks to terminate and does. And Calissa Blackshear with a couple of kills here in this match. A player that Coach Meskey was really happy even came to Louisville in the first place. He said they reached out to her coaches and they said, well, she looks to stay in the state of California, but then they reached out to Calissa and she's like, heck yeah, I'd love to come to Louisville. You just never know. You got to reach out to the player. Her favorite color is red, by the way, which he said was a great fit.
So it worked out.
That's right.
And he said she showed up on her visit with the red hair, so even better.
Right. There's a look at the 6'5" freshman from Lomita, California. I know you're familiar with the area, Nicole. It's a hotbed for volleyball, no question about it.
It certainly is. A lot of talent. Tori Stafford at Texas, Olivia Babcock at Pitt. A lot of great players.
Calissa Blackshear, one of the more talented freshmen in the country this year, especially when you consider the sheer weight on her shoulders to produce for this team. True freshman, 3rd on the team in kills and blocks. She has a width for an arm, but just 1 inch shorter, 6'5", than Kara Cressy. You know what she can do. almost 700 kills, 500 blocks in her career, and getting it done here tonight with 3 kills on 4 swings.
Well, we've already seen the signature slide on display, and not only that, but some huge blocks from Cressy, really elevating this Louisville offense and defense, taking it to the next level.
Yeah, took home All-America honors last year. And some of these returners, whether you talk to a Kara Cressy or a Cabello or a Peyton Peterson, they all got together in the offseason. They are tired of losing in the championship match. They would like to win one after losing in the championship match 2 of the last 3 years. They feel like they are on the precipice of really exploding and bringing one home to the city of Louisville. And they had the home crowd with them playing in the KFC Yum Center last year. They felt like that was a little bit of a missed opportunity. It's one of the reasons that they decided to come back. I mean, heck, a player like Cressy could have gone pro after last year, but she had unfinished business at Louisville.
Well, you can't top the experience playing in college. It is such an opportunity and an incredible time.
20-17, Louisville first to the red zone. 20 points in this opening set as Peterson takes a swing, but it is sent right back by Anna Bjork. 75 blocks on the year for the sophomore out of Wisconsin. Bjork had a season high of 9 blocks in the sweep over Duke on Sunday, and then the serve from Gardy is sent into the net for a service error. I'll tell you, Nicole, when she's on behind the line, this Notre Dame team can go on a run with that over-the-top serve.
Oh, yeah, very powerful topspin. One of the things they've really worked on technique with that this year, changing the toss a little bit, getting the feet there. It's been powerful.
Fenton to the backside. Chicoine, her swing was looking for some hands and got a touch. 21-19. Najee did not play against Duke on Sunday. Got a little rest and back in action here as Cressy off that slide. Louisville found something there, a little bit of a hole in the block for Notre Dame when they get Cressy moving.
Well, this is dangerous. Cressy's hitting 800, 4 kills already on 5 attempts with no errors. So Notre Dame definitely, I'm sure in the game plan, is figuring out a way how to slow her down, but hasn't happened yet.
4 kills on 5 swings, no errors for the redshirt senior. And the block coming alive for the Cardinals.
Sherman coming off ACC Conference Defensive Player of the Week, her 2nd time this year. And here is a big reason why, is getting those feet there, the eye work, nice low and press over the net, taking a little hop and makes the move. That right hand just slams it right into the angle and cuts off the angle attack. And Louisville, #1 block in the ACC.
Yeah, Sherman 10th in the country in blocks per set this year. All right, we've got a lot of action coming up. Fall seasons are ending soon. We will have 2 ACC championships for you right here on the ACC Network and the all-new ESPN app. Coverage of the men's and women's cross-country races begins Friday morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And Sunday, the Women's Soccer Championship gets underway. ACC Network is the home of ACC championships. ACC Women's Soccer Top 10. How about the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, 8-0-1 on the year. You got Stanford up there as well with the same exact record, followed by Duke and Virginia. So it's going to be an exciting finish on the grass for the soccer programs in this conference. Top 6 teams make the ACC tournament. You saw that cutoff there. And dive a little deeper into this Notre Dame women's soccer team. How about Izzy Engel, over a goal per game, which leads all of Power 4. I mean, if you're scoring a goal per game in soccer, that's pretty good stats right there.
That is. I'm getting into soccer. My son plays, so I'm watching it all the time now. I finally get the game after a couple years.
Okay.
So it's a really fun to watch. It's fun to tune into these championships and fun to see Notre Dame at the top.
So are you on the sidelines screaming at the referees for an offsides, or is that not your vibe?
No,
You're
I'm looking at all the other parents side-eye like, what are they doing? Yelling, chill.
All right, Louisville 2 points away from taking this opening set on the road. Notre Dame has hung tough. Here's Chloe Chicoine taking flight. Nice dig by Maya Evans. Now in transition, Helmer slips one through the block and gets Notre Dame to 20.
Smart play for Helmers, feels the double block there, and as we know, Louisville's got a big one, so takes a soft shot and shoves it right down in the middle of the block, rolling down the front of Louisville.
Louisville team, you mentioned it, Nicole, first in the ACC, averaging over 3 blocks per set. Notre Dame not that far behind, averaging over 2.5 blocks per set. Notre Dame has 5 blocks in this opening set, Louisville with just 1. Irish with the serve, and it's Maya Baker sending it away. In-system ball here for Chicoine, and when she gets one in system, Nicole, she's going to put a hurting on that ball.
Oh, she does, and she elevates. You can see how high she is getting up in the air, hitting over these blockers. And again, as we mentioned, Notre Dame is a very tall team, so she's having no problem, and what a great addition for this Louisville team.
Setter Cabello sends one away on set point. Where does Notre Dame go for some answers? And it's Helmers.
Well, Helmers back to back there, the first from the left side of the court and now on the right side of the court. And again, as I mentioned, we know they have Morgan Gardy, the outside hitter that gets all the points, but it's nice to have some help around you, and Helmers has been part of that offensive production.
6'4" transfer from Texas, sends one into the net, and that will be the first set of the match. Louisville takes it 25-21. Well, can certainly build on heading into this second set. Notre Dame will start with the ball and the serve as Maya Baker sends it away off the top of the tape. Blackshear is there. Here's Peyton Peterson having it stuffed. How about 6 blocks for the Irish? Peyton Peterson hit negative in the win against UNC. She had 7 kills, 10 errors on 39 attempts on Sunday. Hitting negative in this match as well. See if they can put her in some better windows. And speaking of, Grace Langer, a great window there, the sophomore from Centennial, Colorado, averaging just over a kill per set.
Well, and that's the middle blockers, getting them offensively more involved in the game. Coach Notre Dame, Selena Rockwell, said, yes, we want to not just set them those first 6 points of the game, but get them the ball throughout the match, because it really does make a difference when you can get those middles going. Gives those outside pin hitters a little more opportunity for some one-on-one action on the blocks. Maya
Baker, a couple of aces here. 15 on the year, and too hot to handle there out of the hand of Calissa Blackshear. "11 matches with 10 or more kills this season for Blackshear. 6 of those coming over her last 7 matches played, as Schrand behind the service line here as Baker goes to the backside. Helmers on the attack. Sydney Helmers, I think they might have found a second option there on the pin for Notre Dame.
Yeah, she's been making some good decisions. If it's not a big hittable ball, she's putting it in good spots, tooling the block.
4 kills tonight, averaging over 3 per set since ACC play got underway, and Gardy whistle blows, but the net was moving there, and the point to the Irish.
Well, Louisville has a good matchup there with Notre Dame. Gardy 18 in white on the outside pin. Blackshear standing at 6'5", so they have a pretty solid block out there, and they know that they need to try to slow Gardy
Louisville
down.
is challenging the net.
All right, so Louisville's going to challenge that they were not indeed in the net, as the officials called it on the floor. So Coach Meske utilizing his first challenge of the match. Oh, I think he might have a case there. That net was moving on the way up. Leave, keep an eye on number 33, Grace Langer here. Even before this. You even saw her wince a little bit. You even saw her kind of wince a little bit after that play.
The ruling on the court is reversed.
Yeah.
Point Louisville, and they retain their challenge.
So it was Grace Langer in the net instead of the Louisville players, Calissa Blackshear and company. There it is right there.
Yeah, Langer going up to try to hold Cressy in the middle, since you got to honor every single attacker. Just tags the net.
Oh, just off the top of the tape for Schran. 25 aces on the year, good for second on this team. The libero from the home state of Kentucky. And quite a few liberos from the Bluegrass State that have played for Louisville and had a ton of success. There she is there with another dig. Results in an overpass though. Notre Dame can't take advantage of it. And Louisville climbing back after an early deficit once again here in the second set.
Well, Camden Schran, she earned that libero's jersey. There are about 6 to 8 players, coach said, were in the mix of having people. But she just came out, did the work, and not only from the service line, getting the digs for the team to make this offense run.
Waited her turn, grew immensely over the last few years, learning from a player like Elena Scott. Done such a great job for Louisville. There she is again. Full extension in transition. Peterson.
Going for the high hands and gets it. And I know you mentioned this earlier, but Schran playing middle back. You don't always see that with a libero. Usually they're in the left back, but Coach Dan Meske, again, loves the hand setting out of system, so that gives her a little better opportunity as well to set from there.
Schran already with 6 digs, and an overpass is put straight to the floor by Calissa Blackshear.
Well, and this has all started with a tough serving from the line. Notre Dame not handling that first pass.
They're not waiting around either on that service line. They're playing a little up-tempo, if you will. Second contact from Chicoine. Baker to Gardy, looking for the block and sails it. 7-0 scoring run for the Louisville Cardinals will force a timeout for Notre Dame and Coach Rockwell. And already here in this match, over 6 digs. She's got a service ace as well.
Well, and she's moving the ball around. She's passing it to the short, to the sidelines. A nice mix. And again, when we talk about aces and serving tough, it's not always going back there and 100% power on it. It's placement, putting it in a good spot. Look at these beautiful short serves right around the 10-foot line here and disrupting Notre Dame's offense. They're not able to get it, but it also creates some communication problems and also has that setter in a tough spot when you're trying to get those attackers going. So good hand on the ball. I expect to see it again out of the timeout, trying to ice her, but if that's working and you're getting several aces, go back to the same thing.
Getting iced by some of the officials here too. Looks like we're talking about some of the substitutions going on here, making sure nobody's out of rotation. Well, Louisville's been on a 7-0 scoring run, so should be good on their side. Well, how about this, Nicole, too, while we have a little bit of time? Louisville has started a little bit slow in each of these first 2 sets. Notre Dame led 8-2, and then Louisville answered on a 6-0 scoring run in the first set. Has gone on a 7-0 scoring run that they're currently on right now. And that's kind of how the first couple of sets have gone. In the meantime, here's our Week 10 ACC Network Saturday football lineup. Noon, looking like a 10-2 Notre Dame team, possibly in the college football playoff, but we'll wait until the end of December to talk a little bit more about that. Meantime, our officials have had a long conversation here about some substitution issues, possibly. This is, yeah, I mean, Camden Schran's been on a roll back there behind the line. Nicole, she's had to wait a couple of minutes now before she can get back in action.
Yeah, 7-0 scoring run, as you mentioned, for Louisville with her at the line. So this is not just a regular old timeout, but a timeout plus some confusion and, you know, hope it doesn't disrupt the flow that your team is in.
some more deliberation here. In the meantime, we'll talk a little bit more about the standout freshman, Calissa Blackshear for Louisville. Again, a player they didn't even think they'd be able to get to Louisville, and here she is.
I mean, unbelievable story. That's right, Coach Dan Meske, as you said, like thinking she wanted to stay in California, but picks up the phone, gives her a ring, and here she is, stepping on the court as a freshman and making waves. And it's not easy to do. I mean, Louisville's not just the next state over. It's a little ways away from California, but a good experience, as I had going to Minnesota from California. Nice to experience a new place, but an incredible opportunity to play at Louisville with the top talent in the country.
We're talking to Dan Meske, grew up in the area, Chicago, greater Chicago area. There's Dan's son in attendance, Ryan. A lot of families said would be in attendance inside Purcell Pavilion, and they have showed out. Mom, uncle, and aunt in attendance tonight for the match to watch Dan do his thing. Again, Dan's been a long time, associate head coach, but finally getting promoted and running the show himself. He's been a big reason why. And I know Danny Busman Kelly has had her, fingerprints all over this program, but he's been a big reason why they've had a lot of success, especially in the recruiting department.
Absolutely. What an incredible, hire for him to then take over the program. And as you said, been involved all these years, but very passionate about this team, about the program and what they're trying to do here. And a lot of it is the culture of just focusing on our side, what we can do to be better each and every game. He said last weekend against Duke was probably one of their least favorite matches that they had played, worst play that they had, but they bounced back against North Carolina. I think against Duke, about 3 aces in the first 4 points of that one. And then come back out against North Carolina, ranked North Carolina number 21, and didn't get a single ace on Louisville that night. So just, this team can bounce, they're resilient, they want to win, they're hungry.
So I'm being told that there was a potential issue with the score. Trying to get that sorted out here. You got to go point for point to tally them all up.
So Camden Schramm's 7-point run seems to be going backwards.
Yeah.
At least they've got some music going. The fans can get on their feet.
All right, so now we got substitutes coming in. Wow, okay, just getting word. Louisville out of rotation. So that 7-0 run that Louisville went on with Cam Strand behind the line has been erased. And in fact, it is Notre Dame with a lead of 5-3. So what was an 8-4 lead is now erased, essentially, and Notre Dame is back on top 5-3. I know we're about to turn the clocks back in a couple of days, Nicole, but you rarely see the score back. You rarely see the points get turned back.
And usually it's only by 1 hour, not 7.
Right,
so.
right. Yeah, and Notre Dame's going to get their timeout back as well, so they'll have 2 timeouts. That is a I don't know that I've ever seen that before, Nicole, in a volleyball match. At least going that far.
No, I've not seen that either. Usually, yeah, I can't think of what else would happen, but definitely going to have a little talk here to see what happened.
Dan Meske's trying to plead his case, I think, a little bit as to how they got there. Here's the thing, Nicole. I wonder if because Dan Meske plays Cam Strand in center back, if the rotations confuse some of the officials a little bit at all. I'm just trying to come up with possible explanations as to how as to how this happens.
Yeah, I don't know. Usually the players, they're on it of when they're supposed to be going on. You know, they're on it of when they're running on the court, especially the libero, because there's no stopping and sub on the sideline as we've seen. But I think this is a very rare instance.
All right, so remember the net violation challenge here, and you remember it was Langer in the net there.
That's right.
And then the challenge was won by Louisville and Dan Meskey. They challenged. It was initially ruled that Louisville was in the net, and it was actually Notre Dame. So that's when the challenge occurred, and Louisville won the challenge.
Cam Strand on the court there, playing middle back on that particular play.
Right, and then she should go back to serve after that, no? I mean, after they won the challenge. She's on the court there.
Yeah, so she was already on the court playing defense there, so they did not, the middle blockers, since she's a libero coming in and out for them,
right,
she did not go off and back on again, which you would see with the switch.
All right, so we're trying to piece this together here. Here's kind of what's happened over the last couple of minutes. The score was 8-4, Louisville in front. They were on a 7-0 scoring run with Cam Strand behind the service line. Timeout was called, and coming out of the timeout, the officials were discussing, and it had come up that potentially Louisville was out of rotation for that entire stretch in which Strand was behind the line. You see the players discussing it amongst themselves. And I got to imagine they're like, let's just play here. Let's make sure we get it right. But this has been an incredibly long break, Nicole. I mean, we're inching up on a 10-minute break here.
Well, if we had possibly our camera crew is awesome, get a screenshot, see what rotation they were in.
So Cressy,
so there the middles did switch. Cressy walks in.
They did, right.
Yeah, so in fact, Sherman walks off the court, and that is who she is making the exchange with, is that middle blocker position. One way is to look back at the footage to see who the previous Louisville server was, and if that's the player that she follows, meaning the middle blocker, that would be one way also to see. But we did see the middle blockers running on and off the court, and as you know, with the libero, or not know, they don't have to do the traditional sub on the side and the refs whistle them in and out. They just run on and off the court. They don't count as a substitution, and to save some time as well. I mean, Halloween is upon us. It's the ghost of 7 points. I don't know, maybe that's still trying to work it out here.
All right, we got some creative costumes here inside Purcell Pavilion. Wow, all right, sriracha hot sauce in here. All right, we're going to step aside here as the officials continue to talk this over. But as it stands right now, Louisville out of rotation. 7 points erased off the board. We'll break this down when we come back.
Christie.
In deliberations here as Notre Dame and Louisville battle it out on the ACC Network. Number 8 Louisville was on a 7-0 run behind the service line. The officials blew the play dead and eventually ruled that Louisville was out of rotation, meaning all of those points were erased. It was 8-4. The score would switch to 5-3, and then Dan Meskey had a word with the officials, and now they are taking another look at the play-by-play, I guess, Nicole. But that's probably the best way to break it down, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at the play-by-play here on Stat Broadcast, and it does say Notre Dame started off with the first 3 points, and then Blackshear gets a point to make it 3-1, and then Camden Schran goes back to serve. And then it says next that Sydney Helmer served. And that is a player on Notre Dame. So then the next server says Camden Schran, but then she wouldn't be serving again the next 2 times. So I think the ball went from Louisville, then back to Notre Dame, then back to Louisville with the same server going back to the line, at least from the play-by-play stats I have access to here. I heard in the background there, finally, on the mic, so I think they figured it out.
Well, coming up on a 20-minute delay to figure out that ruling, but it looks like we have come to a conclusion. Another point will be taken off for Louisville, and we are back to 5-2 advantage Notre Dame here in the second set. All right, here we go. Back underway, nearly a 20-minute break. Don't tell Kara Cressy, though.
Cressy is warm. She didn't need any warming up after that break. She's on fire no matter what. And again, going back to that slide, and not all the way to the pin, a little bit more inside, and that's something that head coach Dan Meskey said they've been toying with, is mixing that up.
Baker to the backside this time, dug out in the back by Peterson. Now Gardy way off the net. Cabello tees up Chicoine. Roll shot into the antenna off of Helmers. And Louisville gets the point back. I mean, have you ever seen a pause like that in a match before, Nicole? That was extensive.
No, I have not. That was...
That was unique. See something new every day. And on the overpass, Cressy puts it down.
Yep, Notre Dame struggling with too tight of a pass on that first contact.
So 3-0 run for Louisville as they try to build up what they had lost because of the outer rotation. And Cabello tip shot from Chicoine will fall, and Chloe Chicoine starting to pile up on the stats. She's got 5 kills on 9 swings. And the serve from Peterson floats long. 6-6 the score in the second. Louisville took the first, 25-21. One-handed dig from Evans. Free ball coming. Back row attack. Peterson tips. Baker is there. Read well. Second contact from Evans. Gardy has it stuffed. Still alive. Tip over. Free ball for the Irish. Where does Baker go? Gardy into the cross court for the kill.
Get the free ball. Beautiful pass, and dishes it out to Gardy for a big kill, trying to get this momentum going.
Back row attack coming. Peterson Let's see if they can get her going a little bit, Nicole. Off to a bit of a slow start in this one. Just her third kill on 12 swings tonight with a couple of errors as well.
Well, with Cabello, the setter, front row now. You've got 2 hitters in the front, so I expect to see Peterson coming in on that back row. And yeah, maybe it'll get her offensive game going. Sometimes when you're struggling in one area, you just don't pay attention to it. Get the other areas going, and it will follow along.
And then Molly Wilson, her serve goes long, so 4th service error of the match gives Notre Dame the lead right back, 8-7. Morgan Gardy, overhand serve. Dug out by Schramm. Here's Chicoine. Gardy with a one-handed save. Joust at the net. Somebody had to have been in it. And it looks like it was Louisville.
Tough one to call there, as that ball was so tight to the net, but a good joust. And as expected, probably a challenge on this one.
Louisville is challenging a block or net.
All right, so Louisville's going to challenge the net violation again. They won the first time. See if Dan Meskey goes 2 for 2 with the challenge card. Net was moving, no question about it. Was it Helmers or was it Cabello?
See both athletes going for a joust against each other, but looks like Helmers kind of on the way down hit the top of the net.
That was my initial thought as well. The ball definitely hit the top of the tape. And it looks like maybe her left hand did as well.
After review, the ruling on the court is reversed. Point Louisville, and they retain their challenge.
All right, so 2 net violations called against Louisville. 2 calls reversed thanks to the challenge card. Yeah, this is, remember the last time that the challenge card was pulled out from Louisville was the same net violation call, and they were out of rotation. So let's make sure for Dan Meskey's squad they are in rotation before they go on a 7-0 run, possibly again. So 2 challenges for Louisville, 1 for Notre Dame. Cabello serving this time. Maya Baker with the set. Back row attack, tipped over. Now it's Blackshear off the block of the Irish. Header dump from Baker, read well by Schramm. Off the net swing from Chicoine, and she's able to slip one through the block.
Chicoine right in the middle of that block. Notre Dame not closing it, leaving a seam, and she attacks it. She is a very elite outside hitter.
Led the team in digs this past Sunday with 23. It was a career high for her. Blackshear with the stuff there. Good cover for Notre Dame. Miscommunication there between Cabello and Helmers. Able to take advantage of the mistakes. Sydney Helmers, transfer from Texas, second on the team in kills and aces this year, averaging over 3.5% over the last 6 matches. All knotted at 9 apiece. Good chance coming here. Backside, Cabello with a dig. Peterson tracks it down, free ball thrown over. They'll go to Langer on the slide, the tip shot, Schramm sends it into the net, Cabello tips it over. Back row attack coming in, a solo block from Hannah Sherman.
A missed opportunity here for Notre Dame, and these are the balls you got to take care of when you get the chance, but they get another one and give Louisville's block another opportunity to score.
Hannah Sherman already has 223 blocks for her career. She's only played in 50 matches. Baker tight to the net. There's Helmers off the block of Louisville. Sydney Helmers leading the way with 6 kills tonight for Notre Dame.
Well, she's not afraid of that block. It's a big one coming up, but she's tooling it on the high hand. She's going, attacking the seam, which is in between both players when they're a little bit late, and having success. That was a close one.
Judgment. Yeah, that was. You can say good judgment from Tran because it paid off for Louisville, but heads up play.
Can she do it again?
Yeah, here we go.
Reverse back to the 7. It's not going to the short serve we saw earlier, but a nice float.
Out of system ball for Notre Dame. Here's May Cordes, the freshman, trying the line shot. Man, she's got a whip of an arm there on that pin, Nicole.
Well, and a good coverage for Notre Dame. Doesn't get the first one, but everyone crowded around, ready for that next opportunity. An impressive blast from Cordes.
There's Blackshear with the answer. Calissa Blackshear with 5 kills in the match. Blackshear went over to the training staff there, pointed to her back, so we'll keep an eye on that. She gets checked out after that swing and kill. Cabello teeing up Peterson. Tran there on the cover, the setter dump from Cabello, read well by Notre Dame. Peterson just throws it over there, heads up play from Peyton Peterson, the sophomore outside from Iowa.
Well, you could see Chicoine there, Louisville, doing the old noggin touch, like, smart play, girl. That's the high IQ that you want when you see the open court. Put it away.
And Gardy's swing misses the block. 14-11 Louisville. We saw, I think for the first time, Naelise Cabello try the setter dump. She's one of the more aggressive setters in the entire country, actually, but so far here tonight, 1 kill on 5 attempts.
Notre Dame is challenging a block touch.
All right, so Notre Dame and Coach Rockwell are going to utilize a challenge here, and if you remember early on in the first set, Coach Rockwell brought out the green challenge card and lost. So if she loses this challenge, Notre Dame would be out of challenges at least until a potential 5th set. So let's take another look at this here. Looking for a touch at the net. It was ruled out that there was no touch initially off the swing from Gardy. Is there a touch potentially on Cabello's hand?
Look for some fingers bending back. If anything, it would be that in the left hand of Cabello, in the middle of the block, that would be wiggling, that outside hand not close. It almost does look like her ring finger on the left.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Nicole. But is it conclusive?
After review, the ruling on the court is confirmed. Notre Dame loses her challenge.
All right, so that's it for challenges for Notre Dame and Coach Rockwell, at least until a potential 5th set, but they've got work to do to get to that point. Louisville still has both of their challenges after winning 2 net violation calls. Coach Rockwell expressing some displeasure with the officiating crew here. And we play on. Louisville 3-0 run with Hannah Kenny behind the line. 26 aces on the year for Kinney, and a joust falls on Louisville's side, and the whistle blows.
And that
reaching over the net.
Yep, back row attack. So when you're in the back row, you can't break the plane of the net, which she did on the set, trying to save it. Again, another tight pass from Notre Dame, not handling that first contact in order to run their offense.
Quick timeout, Louisville with a 4-point lead, 15-11 here in the second. We had about a 20-minute stoppage in play here because of a out-of-rotation call for Louisville. It scores 3-1 here earlier in the second set. You saw Cam Schran, the libero from Louisville, serving the ball. point was won by Notre Dame there. Sydney Helmers was serving for Notre Dame. The score was 4-1. And you see 33, Grace Langer into the net there. Louisville and Dan Meske would challenge the call. So Cam Schran should not be serving after they get the ball back, hence the out of rotation call. Louisville would then go on, coincidentally, to a 7-0 run after Schran got the ball back and was on that line. All of those points were erased. The score went back to 5-2 Notre Dame. And here we are, 15-11, Nicole. It was one of the stranger pauses I've ever seen in a game, but that's the best way we can go about explaining it, I think, as to how everything transpired. Great work by our crew back there in South Bend, putting all that together and piecing the puzzle together, because it was a little bit confusing, but we got it all sorted out in the end. Gardy with a kill.
Going back out, her to try to get things going. Notre Dame hitting right now 0-38, so efficiency quite a bit down. And Gardy at 0-48, so Louisville has done a nice job slowing her down.
Ended a 4-0 run for the Cardinals there. And Peterson with the answer, 16-12. Now it's Peterson. Baker goes backside. Cordes has it dug out by Peterson. Here's Chicoine on the attack, and Chloe Chicoine. What a job she has done for this team. 7 kills, 15 swings, no errors tonight for the Purdue transfer.
Well, she really has found her rhythm with not only her play on the court, but also leadership. Coming in, a transfer from Purdue, stepping in and making a huge impact for this team.
Tip from Cordes. Kenny to Chicoine with the roll shot this time. Back-to-back kills for the 5'10 junior outside.
And again, a set, coming out to work can sometimes be hard, making that adjustment to the college in this elite level of the ACC.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but you would be hard-pressed to find another transfer that has had as big an impact on their team as Chloe Chicoine has had for this Louisville team. Now, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of great transfers out there in college volleyball this year, but you look at number 7 in red right now, and she has really taken this team and elevated them to another level. When they're playing right, Chloe Chicoine is having a huge impact on this team, leading the way with 8 kills tonight. 18-13, Cardinals in front here in the second set. They took the first. There's Chicoine again, and on the follow, puts it to the floor, make it 9 kills for the junior.
Good reflexes on that block. Who needs time to cover when you can just put it down for the kill? Coach said Chicoine, they do a volleymetrics as a system where you can watch all the footage, watch your play, watch all the games. When you open that computer after a game first thing in the morning, the most tags on plays, he says, is from Chicoine, because she has it all. She's doing the work, putting it in, doing the time to improve her game and elevate it. And you can see tonight hitting 500 on so far this match.
Second service error from Ollie Wilson there back behind the line, but prior to that, last 3 kills for Louisville, all from Chicoine. Here goes Gardy. Schran keeps it in system for Chicoine. Gardy in the back row with the dig. Helmers way off the net, looking to go line. And it just finds that line. What a shot from Helmers.
Yeah, the block gave up some line for Helmers. She came in looking like Angle, but turns that arm down line and tags it.
Picked up her first double-double of the season in the 5-set loss to Pitt a couple weeks ago. And a back row attack. Nice dig from Evans. Schran to Cabello. And even when the set isn't perfect, Chloe Chicoine finds a way to contort her body midair.
Well, and that's the elite player that she is. When you don't get that perfect set every time, are you making an error? Are you keeping it in play? What are you doing with the ball? And that comes with you know, her experience of having this playing time that she has and being a star at Purdue and now coming to Louisville and making the right decision at the right time.
Last 4 kills for Louisville, all credited to Chloe Chicoine, who's got 10 now on 20 swings with no errors. She's hitting .500 here in the match. Well, we are towards the back half of the season in ACC volleyball play. We'll look at some of the upcoming state. See if they can get back to the mountaintop this year. Certainly feels like they've got all the pieces to do it. Chloe Chicoine is a big reason why, as she is responsible for the last 5 kills for the Cardinals here in this set.
Well, and right now it's the defense. Louisville coach feels like this is one of the best backcourts that they've had, and they're digging Gardy of Notre Dame, who's their big point and kill leader. She is not getting those big kills that she's used to. Not getting a touch off the block. Louisville's getting under it and lifting those digs up, and then they're transitioning right away for points.
She's got 11 kills in the match, 8 in this second set. 21-16. Cardinals with a 5-point advantage. No timeouts remaining for Notre Dame. Nearly an ace. Great hustle from the setter, Cabello. And a free ball coming. To the right side, Blackshear has it rejected. Grace Langer with the block. She's leading the team with 80 on the year.
And a good read here by Langer. Makes the movement out and closes this block. Holmers did a nice job setting that one up, closing down the pin.
And a service error hands it right back to Louisville. Yeah, it's been all Notre Dame on the block. 7 blocks as a team for Notre Dame, just 2 for Louisville in this match. So that's something that Coach Rockwell can certainly be pleased with. Her team's play at the net. Chicoine now in the back row. Off the slide, Langer has it dug by Chicoine. They get 23 digs on Sunday for Chicoine, a career high. And
those are just
into the antenna.
Right there. Yep, that example there of the touches, the kind of unforced errors for Notre Dame that's getting them into a little bit of trouble, not taking care of the ball.
Float serve this time. Back row attack for Gardy, and gets a kill out of it.
I like that adjustment. Gardy attacking the other side of the court on her last hit, getting blocked. Now thumb down, turns it down the line, trying to attack that left back position.
Gardy with 7 kills on the night. That serve goes long again, and it gets it to set point. So a couple of service errors. I mentioned, Nicole, unforced errors that have put Notre Dame in some difficult position so far in this match, as Cam Schran fitting behind the service line here, trying to end the second set, which has been a second set for the ages. And indeed, the block ends it for Louisville as Blackshear was there. 25-19. And it looks like we actually will give the point to Notre Dame. Okay, so it looks like maybe a net violation for Louisville. Gives the serve back to Helmers and the Irish. So we play on. And that will do it for the second set as the touch goes over from Peterson. And 25-19 is the score here in the second. 25.
They got to let loose and play free. And hopefully they can get Gardy going as well. They're a big kill leader. She's not as efficient as we've seen so far this season.
Yeah, Gardy hitting below 100. Sydney Helmers hitting 235. And here is Helmers on the attack, and it's stuffed right back. Kara Cressy with the block.
Beautiful lineup there. Cressy pressing over that outside hand, cutting the angle off.
Head coach Dan Meskey said that it feels like they have a pro playing amongst college players in Kara Cressy, and again, probably could have gone pro after last year, decided to run it back, and here comes the block for the Louisville Cardinals. A couple of blocks to start off this set.
And although
Actually, this one
Louisville
goes back, yeah.
Well, Notre Dame has the edge on the blocking, but Louisville's slowing a lot of balls down and getting those points in transition, and their block has been very effective that way.
Overpass this time is put to the floor by Anna Bjork. Sophomore middle blocker coming off a season high of 9 blocks in the sweep over Duke. There's a big role in this block for the Irish that ranks 5th in the ACC in blocks per set. That's too easy. Cabello to Cressy. There's no defending that, Nicole.
There's not. That connection is beautiful. And again, in the front of the setter, we've seen Cressy's signature slide that she goes behind the setter, but also so dynamic in front, coming in one way. And I'm just going to go over here right now.
7 kills tonight, hitting 875 video game numbers for the redshirt senior. And a right side attack for Cordes. Well, it's initially ruled out.
Well, yeah, the line judge, the red flag had up, but the up ref called that one in. So ball to Notre Dame.
And Peterson able to get that one in. Peyton Peterson, 7 kills on 19 swings. You know what's funny, Nicole, or excuse me, that one goes out from Peterson. You know what's interesting? Both of these teams have really struggled in 5-set matches so far this year. They're both 0 for 4. And Cressy off the slide.
Yeah, those, as we've mentioned, the ACC has so many ranked teams. Night after night, you've got tough competition. I was thinking about it today with the non-conference, how teams want to schedule tough teams, ranked teams to, you know, get that RPI up when it comes to tournament time. But when you're in the ACC, you're playing ranked team almost every single night. And the competition is so elevated and high. It's just unbelievable.
All 4 of those to ranked opponents in those 5-set losses. 3 of those to Pitt, SMU, and Texas were by a combined 15 points. So the margins, to your point, are just so thin in this conference. And there's a slide from Bjork, kept alive by the Cardinals. The return slide from Cressy is well defended by the Irish, and the back row attack coming alive for Morgan Gardy.
And the last few back row attacks for Gardy have gone down. She's moving the ball around. They've gotten a few big blocks on her for Louisville, but that one going right in the middle of the block, not closed, and she attacks the seam.
Cabello with the setter dump, and she's got her 2nd kill of the match. Nicole, what a weapon it is to have a player like Naelis Cabello in the front row. I mean, she's almost like another attacker when she's up against the net.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she had 9 kills against Pitt in their 5-set match. And again, normally a 6-2 setter, meaning she's only playing in the back row. This year, a 5-1. So she is playing front row, which means you can add that offense in. And again, as we mentioned, Louisville losing 70% of their offense. So another piece you got to really pay attention to, because we know that she's a setter that can score.
All right, so Notre Dame starting to find some answers, utilizing their middles a little bit more. Anna Bjork with the kill there off the slide. Irish are hitting 500 here in this 3rd set. See if they can keep that momentum going. And Chicoine tips that one over. 7-6, Irish still in front. Naelis Cabello, Clermont, Florida. Sophomore setter sends it away. Baker teeing up Gardy. Slowed down by that Louisville block. There goes Chicoine. It's like she's jumping off a trampoline, Nicole.
I mean, it is, but again, it starts with the defense. These players are getting under the ball. Gardy is the big point scorer for Notre Dame, and they're slowing her down a bit with the touch on the block, and then the defense getting it up. And then you've got a beautiful set coming out of the hands of your libero, like it's a natural setter.
This time, Gardy got a touch at the net, able to tool that block a little bit. Morgan Gardy broke the school record for kills in a match with 34 against Illinois at the start of September. And those 34 kills are still tied for the most in a single match so far this season in the country. Tied with Hampton's Raquel Frazier in that category. 34 kills in a match. That's a lot of work on that right arm of Gardy. Good dig there for Maya Evans. She's played solid defense tonight for the Irish.
Notre Dame getting the better of that one. Middle blockers are working hard because Cabello of Louisville, their setter, is moving the ball around so well, but a good read for Notre Dame to get a huge block on that.
Cabello on the slide, this time finding number 11, Hannah Sherman. And Sherman's got 3 kills tonight, the middle blocker, ACC leader in blocks actually this year, but done on the offensive side. And it's 9-8. Cabello straight to the middle, and it finds that back line for Sherman.
Yeah, Hannah Sherman, number 11 in red right there. First we saw the big crunch right down kill, but now this one, beautiful deep. That gap set just pushed right past the 1, which is a front fast quick set, attacking that end line.
Again, worth noting, Notre Dame out of challenges. Louisville still has 2, and an overpass proves costly as Calissa Blackshear, maybe your easiest kill of the match.
Well, and that's the tricky thing with those out-of-system sets, is how tight do you really want it? That one obviously too tight going over the net, but a good set for your attacker to be able to go up and do something with it.
3-0 run for the Cardinals here. Good to see Blackshear back in the match. Again, she was grabbing her back a little bit earlier in the second set. Got it checked out by the training staff, deemed okay to go. And a free ball for the Irish. And put to the floor. Grace Langer, the recipient of the kill.
Grace Langer handled that one. This first contact a little bit tight, but gets saved by Maya Baker.
Let's see if Notre Dame can go on a run with Gardy behind the line. And Blackshear, that set was behind her body, able to maneuver that arm and put it to the floor in the middle of the donut there.
Yeah, Blackshear talented again. A middle blocker in club in high school, comes to Louisville, moves her to the opposite. So it's been really fun to see kind of her different offense she has out of the middle at times and on that right side.
Peterson and Cressy combining for that block there. Out of system for Helmers. Nice tip shot for Sydney Helmers.
Well, Helmers set this one up. She comes in strong and hard with that arm cocked back like she's going to crank it. And that's the key. You don't want to give away that you're going to tip it for the defense, but comes in strong and seals it.
Louisville clinging to a 1-point lead here. And a good serve gets Louisville out of system. What does Baker do with it? Helmers slowed down by the block of Blackshear. Chicoine tees up Blackshear. Baker to the middle. And it's in. And a Bjork. So how about the middles for Notre Dame? Get more involved offensively for Coach Rockwell here in the third set.
Yeah, that's what Coach Rockwell said she wanted. You know, sometimes they start off strong, setting the middles at the beginning of sets, and then it fades away, but really wants to emphasize getting that ball. But if you want to set the middle, you've got to have a good touch on the ball, whether it's the first contact and serve receive, or again, taking care of it in transition. We've seen a little bit of some tight free ball opportunities for Notre Dame slip away.
Service error there. It seems like every time Notre Dame has some momentum, they will send one into the net or long behind the line. A little jumbled play here, and a joust is put down by Bjork.
Notre Dame block has been a big presence here tonight, getting them some points defensively.
Seventh tie of this set now, 13 all. Cressy! I mean, how do you stop it, Nicole? There's really no recipe for it.
There isn't, because they know, I mean, even when they know it's going to be going to her right here, Cabello really, wow, talented, pushing that ball all the way opposite. And Cressy can just put anything away.
Tool in the block there for Helmers. These two teams met last year, and both resulted in sweeps for Louisville. But I think even Coach Meske would say this is a different Notre Dame team, and Notre Dame has, they've led, they've gotten off to great starts in all 3 sets so far tonight. They just haven't been able to close, and the service errors have proven costly as well. That's the 8th of the match, and it brings us to our media timeout with Louisville in front by 1. And this Louisville team, 6th in the committee's latest release. Strength of schedule, I think, playing a factor in that, as Gigi Nagy tried to tool the block there, misses wide. (16-14), Louisville in front. They took the first 2 sets. Notre Dame trying to avoid a sweep. Good defense there from the Cardinals. Chicoine. And I think that's 4 contacts there for Louisville. And that serve from York goes long. So 9 service errors for Notre Dame tonight. And again, it just seems like every time they are on the verge of maybe jumping out in front and taking a lead.
Yeah, they get some momentum on their side, and it just got to keep those serves in. They're going long. They're not in the bottom of the net, which coaches never want to see. But give this block they have that's very strong a chance.
And how about the Louisville block in return? Alyssa Blackshear in the middle alongside Hannah Sherman combining on that one.
Good movement here and closing that, hands low and over the net. Hard to get by.
6 service error for Louisville as they give it back to Notre Dame.
Yeah, Louisville's service game is some good strategy throughout the night. We've seen moving it around the court short.
Chicoine, a little bit quieter here in this 3rd set, but there's the heads-up play by the Purdue transfer, just pushing that into that back right corner.
Hey, no one said it had to be 3 touches. It has to be between 1 to 3. So she's going for that one. That's the 2nd one we've seen her do tonight.
Had 8 kills in the 2nd set alone, 14 on the night tonight. 19-16 is the score. Blackshear 2nd contact off of the block, and miscommunication between Cabello and Schran as to who was going to go get that ball. So it's 19-17. Here's Lucy Trump, 6-foot senior from Florence, Kentucky. 25 aces on the year. This one handled well. Kept alive by Cordes. Way out of system for Helmers. Cabello, all the options available to her, and a mistake there from Hannah Sherman.
Yeah, just a little bit too much turned into that angle, going wide.
Season was because she wanted to learn from a couple of All-American middle blockers. Players like Anna Stevenson and Amaya Tillman. Safe to say that that patience has paid off. And, that's you can take a lesson from that. I think Coach Dan Meske has talked a lot about building that within their program.
Yeah, he mentioned that on the call, and I love that. I mean, players just not leaving and going to another school, but and he mentioned it too about their 3rd middle, Addison McCune, right now, learning from these 2 strong middles in Cressy and Sherman. And she's a talented player that could be playing at a school, starting probably, but wants to learn from the best. And you love to hear that. It's not always like that these days.
Maybe a mistake return there on the other side with Maya Evans making contact with that ball from Blackshear that looked like it might have gone out. Instead, Louisville first in the red zone again here in this third set, looking for a sweep. Notre Dame looking to force a fourth, but the block from Blackshear and Cressy, that is 6'6" and 6'5" that you're swinging against there.
No, thank you.
A lot of size on both of these teams, and it looks like that antenna was moving there. 22-18 Cardinals with a 4-point advantage, and Notre Dame and Coach Rockwell will utilize their first timeout of this third set. Well, our next ACC All-Access goal on their mind, and that is winning a national championship and bringing it back home to Louisville.
That's right, and getting that top 16 seed is huge, and getting the top 4 would be even bigger because you would host all the way up until, you have the potential to host all the way up until those final rounds.
Some more
and looks like a little miscommunication there between Cressy and Chicoine. Both people who can put the ball away, but maybe waiting for the other one to go up and attack it.
Just too unselfish. That's... And Cabello to the backside. Cressy cuts it too sharp.
That was quite a sharp angle for Cressy and just going wide. Again, Cabello saving that one as the pass was a little bit tight on the net.
See if Notre Dame can mount a comeback here. 3 points in a row. And it's 22-21.
Well, I think we know what that timeout huddle was about, and it was about the service pressure and going back there and just letting loose. Try to get Louisville out of system and get this defense going.
Off the top of the tape and down, we're tied. 22-all. Timeout Louisville. Alex Mazie behind the service line. So a little bit of a 4-0 spurt as Notre Dame tries to force a fourth set here at home. All right, well, Chloe Chicoine leading the way for the Cardinals. 14 kills here in this match, just 2 errors on 29 swings. On the other side for this Notre Dame team and Salima Rockwell, it has been a season of growth for the Irish squad. Coach Rockwell has stacked this roster with talent, recruits, starting to pay off. And, you know, over the last...
That's what Mazie is doing right now with her serve.
The defense there. Free ball is thrown into the net. And again, it's just it's the unforced errors, right, Nicole? They're so close. And, you know, to be fair, this team could just as easily be 2 games over 500 as they are 2 games under 500 right now. 0-4 in 5-set matches this year, with losses to a very good Illinois team, a top 10 ranked Pitt team, and a top 25 UNC team on the road on Friday. So they are right there. What a dig from Schrand. And can't get to that one as Helmers puts it in the deep corner.
Well, another smart play from Helmers. Again, not going up to try to get the big kill, but takes a look and finds the open area 1, pushing this one back right over the right back's head.
11 kills for Helmers tonight. 23-all. And right through the block goes Kara Cressy. Louisville set point, match point, 24-23. It's Peyton Peterson behind the line. Can Notre Dame dig deep? The block for Louisville ends it. Kara Cressy, the star of the match tonight.